introduction to the clusters. So basically here we will provide general information about the computer cluster, and it's meant to be for the beginners. So first we have to learn about what is cluster. Basically the cluster in general, it's a group of computers or units. They are connected to each other and working as a team or as a single computer, and they are connected through fast local area network, which we call it LANs. The advantage from this design to connect multiple computers together, it will help us to improve the performance and the availability. And in this figure, we can see the whole overview of the cluster, how it is look like, and what are the parts of it. So in general, we have three parts of the cluster. We have the login nodes in the purple box, and the compute nodes, and the global storage, which is connected to both parts. If you look inside the login node, you can see three different units. So these are basically three different computers. We call them nodes. And these nodes, as I said, we have two types of nodes, either login or compute nodes. What is the difference between them? So the login nodes, it's just to run the light jobs, or you use it for writing your scripts, edit your scripts, and use it to submit your job scripts to the scheduler later. The scheduler, we will also define it in some moment, and then it will submit it to the compute nodes. The compute nodes, they're actually the actual jobs will be running there. And it can be like computers with CPUs only, or it can have also GPUs, where the GPUs used when we need it for the graphical and mathematical heavy tasks to be run. You can add the job nodes for your task, for example. And both of these types connected to the global storage, which is the shared file system among all these nodes. Now coming to the definitions, or explain what these terms, like what is node and what is like inside the node. If we look at these pictures here, the one to the right, it is one single node. Basically, as I mentioned, the single node, it's just a physical computer, and it can have one or two CPUs, and each CPU can have more than one core. What is the core? Actually, it is just a processor that can handle one programmed task. Maybe we can just zoom out here to see what is inside it. So this is a single node with CPU. You can see in this example, we have two CPUs, and in each CPU, 24 cores. And usually these cores for a single CPU, they are sharing the same memory. And both, they are connected to local storage and network adapter. The same for the node with GPUs, it will be the same structure, just you can add the GPU there. And all these nodes, actually, for the cluster, arranged in racks at dedicated climate-controlled facility. Usually the clusters, when you have all these group of computers or nodes, they use a Linux operating system with a few exceptions. And usually you need with the cluster something called scheduler, which is like helping us to manage the resources. And with the Linux, we are using Slurm. And for NAISS, actually, we are using a Slurm algorithm to schedule the jobs. So just remember, the cluster is nothing, just a group of computers connected together, and they have two types of nodes, login node and compute nodes. The login node, we have to remember also it has the shared resources, so we have to be careful to not run any heavy jobs there. We can just edit and submit our jobs to the compute nodes through the scheduler. The scheduler, we said it's nothing, just algorithm that used to help us to manage the resources. And in our case, we will use Slurm. And both these nodes connected to global storage, which is shared file system. And the compute nodes, we might use CPUs nodes or GPUs. Now, before we move to how to run jobs or what is the batch system, there is just a quick question about supercomputer, because sometimes we hear supercomputer and we hear there is a clusters. So what are the supercomputer? So the supercomputer, it's just a cluster computer system with high computing power, where we use like high processing capacity, and it will help us to work with the very large and complex calculations. But to answer this question, what is supercomputer and is it the same cluster? So shortly, the supercomputer, it's not the same as a computer cluster, but we can call the cluster sometimes supercomputer. Now coming to the how is the job run on the computer cluster and what is the batch system? So as I mentioned, like we need something help us to submit our request to the clusters. We call it the batch system, which is the scheduler system, and we can write a script for that, listing some commands, requesting some resources, or asking to do our job in a specific way. Yes, so this is what job script means. It is nothing, just to write a list of commands, and here you can see this example. For example, you can write in this script how many nodes you want to use for your job, or if you want to use CPUs, GPUs, and how many cores that needed for your task, and how much memory you want to use, and so on. Like such information you will provide in the script. There is one thing to know here, that the syntax of the job script, it depends on the queuing system, which is the Slurm in our case. Yeah, so it depends on the scheduler system that you are using. Now we so since the jobs that you are submitting, you will have some of them queued, waiting for any available or free resources to implement this job. So in this case, we don't recommend that you do any manual interaction for that, but still for special programs like Open on Demand or GFSX Launcher, you can allow some graphical programs, and this is due to the administrative there. Okay. Now, which programs can be run effectively on computer cluster? And so due to the design of the cluster that we have many nodes connected to each other, and as I mentioned before, this will help us to speed up the computations. How it will help us? By letting us to execute several tasks in parallel. You can think about it. You have a big one problem and you can split it into many tasks, and this will help us to gain more speed to perform your jobs or execute your jobs. How you can speed up your jobs using the clusters? It can happen in two different ways, either in sequentially run these small independent tasks sequentially or in parallel. So what is the difference between them and what is where we can use them? So whenever you can run many independent tasks, one after one, this will help you, of course, to fasten your job. This is what we call it, the sequential jobs. And here we have one example. Let's say you have 500 tasks you launched and you want to execute, but you have only 50 cores available. So in this case, you will then have 50 instances started to run, and the remaining will be waiting until this 50 tasks will be executed and have the results. When the running for the first 50 tasks is done, then the next 50 will start, and so on until you finish all the 500. In this case, you will run your tasks over assume 50 computers instead of one, and in this case you will finish 1/50th of the time. Regarding the running the jobs in parallel, let's remember the structure of the nodes. If you remember the unit that I showed, each unit, it has one or two CPUs, and each CPU has more than one cores. And we said what are the cores? They are can handling one programmed task, and all these cores for one CPU sharing a memory, the same memory. So in this case, if you are using different cores inside the CPU or a shared memory, this is the one of the types of running the jobs in parallel. It will be inside single node, or you can run your tasks in parallel across several nodes, and in this case we call it distributed parallelism, and this suitable with MPI or similar programs. Also, you can combine these two types, like either inside one node or across several nodes. Now, how to run the program in parallel? First, we have to remember to run your code in parallel, you have to know that your problem, it can be split to smaller sections and it can be solved independently of each other. And then you combine the results. So this is first. And after that, you can imagine that you have master and worker to both of them work on this process. So first the master, which is the process that created to control the distribution of the data and tasks, will send the data and instructions to one or more worker, and the worker will process the task and do the calculations and then send back to the master the results. And the master either combine these results or continue to send more subsections of the problem to be solved by the worker. And these kind of parallel programs useful with, like here, some examples for sorting, rendering computer graphics, and it can be used with computer simulations, comparing many independent scenarios like climate model. Also, it can be used with matrix multiplications. Yeah, here what I explained above, you can find more explanation about how to do parallelism over one node with shared memory and over multiple nodes, and if it is hybrid. So remember that with the shared memory, it's suitable with programs like OpenMP, and this distributed ones, it's suitable with the message passing interface MPI program libraries. Now, before we end this section, maybe we can see what is the difference between the GPUs and CPUs. So shortly, we can say the CPU, which is the central processing unit, designed to handle a wide range of distinct tasks sequentially. And the GPUs, which is the graphics processing unit designed to high-end parallel computing. And you have to know that using the GPU will not be done automatically. You have to adapt your code to call the GPUs, and this can be done by some frameworks like CUDA, OpenCL, OpenACC, and etc. Yes, and in addition to the above programming framework, you often have option to use software that already prepared for use GPUs. And this is including many types like MD software and Python and others. Okay,